cloudy, low near 60. And tomorrow we'll see mainly sunny skies. It will be breezy and warm with a high near 83. A meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Koppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. Plus, Koppel has over $10,500 off list on other select new models. Our pre-owned truck lot is full of late model low gyms as well. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with roof credit, 0% is standalone.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, into the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Does anybody remember this? Before social media, you actually had to be cool in real life. What are your thoughts on that, Jake? Being cool in real life versus online?
a little bit more difficult in real life.
Here's another. This made me happy and sad all at the same time. And we can explain it to you if you're not a pro wrestling fan. But Jake, I immediately thought of you when I saw this. And it's a picture of The Rock and Austin, the main event of WrestleMania 17, and it said, "Ready to feel old." WrestleMania 63 is closer than WrestleMania 17 to present day. What are we going on, WrestleMania 41?
Yeah.
I hate the fact that that's mathematically true. Rock and Austin headlined arguably the greatest WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 17. The heel turn at the end was absolutely god-awful. I could have told you it was going to suck, but I digress. The point is, WrestleMania 63 is closer to modern present day than WrestleMania 17. I love seeing that picture, and that also made me very sad at the same time. Welcome into the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket, 11 a.m., 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Grab your lunch. Come join us. What you're going to hear, Husker sports, college football, and sports in general. What you're going to get is unique insight, unbridled honesty, and producer Jake and I are going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. And you guessed it. Like, Jake, you saw the amount of tabs that I have open on my laptop. Because we're trying to pull a clip from Fred Hoiberg's presser the other day, and I couldn't even figure out which tab it was so that you could get the clip. How many tabs do you think I have open? Take a guess, and then I'm actually going to count. Take a guess.
14.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16.
16. Right.
I got my own sweet 16 bracket going on here. That doesn't even count the picks and the notes. It's insanity. I live in a world of constant insanity, and sometimes, occasionally, every once in a while, I thrive in it. But as you may have put together by now, we got a loaded show. All right. JORDY BAHL and the softball team, hey, they're 24-8. They're off to a good start. What would I tell you, or what would you think if I told you that they are 1-5 versus ranked teams, 8-8 versus Power 4 teams, and 4-3 in conference? What would you think? It's still a good start, but I don't even believe they're ranked anymore. And again, I'm not slamming the softball team in any way, shape, or form, but I saw this article, Nebraska softball receives mixed reviews after sweeping Minnesota. And so I did a little digging, did a little recon. They're having a good season. But their goal isn't to have a good regular season. Their goal is to do stuff in the postseason and make a run. They have the potential to do that. And so JORDY BAHL needs a little bit of help. All right, so we're going to chat about that a little bit. An elite defensive line. So we kind of topically covered this yesterday, or on Tuesday, my previous show. Talked about a lot of things. Kind of topically covered that. Matt RHULE, I'm just going to quote him because this has stuck with me. The biggest question mark, again, doesn't mean they're not going to be good. Doesn't mean I have doubts. It means I have questions, and I feel like this is fair to say. The biggest question mark in the entire team is the defensive line just due to lack of experience. That's it. I've never said lack of talent. We have mentioned, have they put on weight? Have they gotten stronger? Hopefully they get stronger over winter conditioning, but we can't have guys like Keona Davis like playing a 3-3-5 or we put 4 down half the time, 3 down half the time. The multiple type defense that we run at 260 on the D-line. You can't do that. This isn't a 4-3. You can't get away with that. Even with 4-3, you just be a nickel end unless you're a freak at 260. Matt RHULE said, and I quote, "I think we're going to have one of the best D-lines around." End quote. He had another similar quote later on, basically doubling down. So we're going to chat about that a little bit because the biggest question mark on the team to me, again, not doubting them, just unknown, unproven, haven't done it yet. Let's see what happens. Can't wait to see. Is the D-line. Also, it's the running back depth, actually, and he addressed that as well. You think he listens to this show and just specifically said, I'm going to address all of Adam and Jake's concerns?
I think he does.
I think he does. Hey, so actually, I was picking up my daughters at Kinetic Sports Complex yesterday. Shout out. They aren't even paying us for this. They're just good people. Maggie, VCN, Volleyball Club Nebraska, Kinetic Sports, Supreme Basketball. All right, Matt Cumro, who runs that. Ryan Reeder does a great job helping him. All my kids are in VCN. They're in Supreme Basketball, so I'm shouting them out, showing them some love. All right. I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting because we got to go straight from volleyball. I forget. 8,000 sports, six kids, all in multiple club sports. So wherever we had to go, I had to sit in the pickup and wait for my oldest daughter and my youngest twin to come out, Addie and Desi. And out walks this guy. Like, man, that looks a lot like Matt RHULE. walks like Matt Rhule, acts like Matt Rhule, shrugs his shoulders like Matt Rhule while he walks. I'm like, by God, that's Matt Rhule. Picking up his kids, just like an everyday human being. Did you know that coaches are regular everyday human beings and dads?
I've heard of that. I've never been able to make sure in real life that that's
You haven't been able to fact check that?
Yeah.
He probably puts his pants on 3 legs at a time, just like every other normal red-blooded American man. Anyways, I just rolled down my window. We shook hands briefly. He obviously had to get going. I had to get going. But it's like, I think people forget players and coaches are real human. They're just normal human beings, just like everyone else. And it was cool to see him kind of doing his fatherly thing. All right. So we got a lot to talk about at the end of the show. Hopefully we'll do a little bit of a Carriker's Trivia Challenge as well before we dive into these topics. Nebraska's Pro Day was the other day as well. Do you happen to have any of the stats from the other Pro Day, from the Pro Day on Tuesday? I have a couple, but
Yeah. I haven't. They didn't really give those out to even the players. It's funny. Brent Binks was in the studio. He's like, I don't know what I ran. They didn't tell him.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
So I remember my Pro Day like it was yesterday. I remember the shirt I wore. I remember everything about it. As soon as I was done with that 40, what I run, I was all over them. I had to know. I think that was also the only thing I did that day. I know I didn't do the bench. I didn't do the pro agility. I don't think I did anything else. I don't even think I did the position stuff because I did that at the combine. And then when teams bring you in, they have you do that anyways with one-on-ones. I just ran the 40. That's all I really cared about. There's a couple of stats that I got. I was a little surprised. Nash Huntmaker's a strong dude. He'd probably be in the conversation for strongest football players of all time to play at Nebraska. Like, when I watch some dudes lift, some guys just aren't that strong. Some guys put a lot of weight on the bar, but they're like on a squat, for example. Yes, going to 90 degrees is a very real thing. Sometimes I'll see guys put a ton of weight on the bar, and I mean, we're debating whether they're at 120, let alone 90, as far as getting parallel. Nash puts like 3 houses on his back, and then he is parallel and then some. And when he comes up, there's a little bit of explosiveness to it in his deep squats with a ton of weight on. It's one of the most impressive things I've seen. I played with a guy in the league, Philip Daniels. Him and I constantly went back and forth as to who the strongest Redskin was. I won the award. He did not, just saying, but he was absurdly strong. His deadlift and his squat. It's probably still up. Go to YouTube. Type in Philip Daniels 722-pound squat. He does it, and he does it legit, and it's impressive. Like, but that dude was 15 years into the league, not straight out of college. So Nash Huntmaker is really strong. I was a little surprised his bench numbers weren't higher. I really was. But we can dive into that a little bit later before we get into all the aforementioned topics. All right, just a reminder, if you are interested in registering your child, K through 8th grader, sometimes 8th graders don't like being called children, so your player, your camper, your kid, whatever you want to call them, K through 8th grader boys and girls, all right, the Carriker Chronicles football camp, go to carrikerchronicles.com. Eric Crouch, Amon Green, myself, and more former Huskers will be there July 9th. Again, the inaugural Carriker Chronicles football camp. Go to carrikerchronicles.com. Eric Crouch, Amon Green, yours truly, and more. Now, I've got more former Huskers reaching out and talking to me because they want to be a part of it, and that's a pretty freaking cool thing. All right, boys and girls, K through 8th, T-shirts, autographs are included. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska. If you're interested in registering and or just learning more about said camp, go to carrikerchronicles.com. All right. Nebraska softball. How would you evaluate their season so far, Jake?
I'd say it's pretty darn good. Again, I think they're ranked number 20 right now. So, you want to fight to be in that top 25. They're there, and obviously JORDY BAHL's had a good season so far, and they've been well tested. You mentioned maybe their record against the top 25 is not great, but they did get a win early on in the season in the top 25, and should be prepared for Big Ten play.
So to be clear, they beat Omaha yesterday. All right. And going back to the Minnesota series, this was right after the Minnesota series was over. The Nebraska Cornhuskers played flawless defensively in a 3-game sweep of Minnesota over the weekend. The Huskers also improved to 23-8. They're now 24-8 on the year after outscoring Minnesota 24-5. Despite getting the 3 wins, Nebraska received mixed reviews from the 4 major polls. Depends on which poll you look at as far as where they're ranked. Like in college football, you've got the AP, the coaches. I remember I was in high school when I started to hear some folks in the media kind of disrespecting the coaches poll. Like, oh, they can't watch all the games. Oh, they just vote for their friends. Not everybody said that, but I heard some folks, and I was like, huh. Can every media member in the country watch every game, or are they just focused on their team and casually watch other games, or watch other games as much as they can, focused on their primary team? Like, if I'm a guy who covers Nebraska, my focus is Nebraska. It's hard for me to watch Oregon State, Oregon. All right, some of these other schools. So I always thought that was a little bit interesting. As far as voting for friends, okay, maybe. I also wonder if there's conference bias with whoever is voting. Hence, North Carolina's AD getting in a lot of trouble or scrutiny when it came to the NCAA tournament, North Carolina getting in. And, oh, my God, he got a huge bonus for North Carolina getting into the tournament. You're going to have a little bit of that no matter what. So the AP poll kind of took over the coaches poll, I think, in a lot of people's eyes. I understand it. I always treated them as equal, but it kind of seems over time the AP poll has taken over the coaches poll. Now, both of those are completely and utterly irrelevant once November hits because of the committee. In softball, there's 4 polls. Just an FYI. All right. Nebraska was dropped from the softball and D1 softball's top 25 after going 1-2 against Ohio State, March 14 through 16, but remained in the NFCA and USA softball polls. Here's how things look this week for the Huskers. All right, as for the rest of the Big Ten, Oregon has taken over as the top-ranked program in the Big Ten, coming in at number 6 in the country. In both the polls I just mentioned, UCLA fell to number 7, all right, in the country, number 2 in the Big Ten, after splitting a 2-game series with Iowa. And Ohio State is ranked in all 4 polls, but is behind Nebraska. So they're ranked in all 4, but they're behind Nebraska in the 2 polls that Nebraska is ranked, the NFCA and USA softball one. So here are the top 10 teams in the country. And I want you to tell me if you notice a trend just in general. Number 1, Texas. Number 2, Oklahoma. Number 3, LSU. Number 4, Florida. Number 5, Texas A&M. Number 6, Oregon. Number 7, Florida State. Number 7, UCLA. Number 8, Tennessee. Number 10, South Carolina. Do you notice a trend?
Some Big Ten and SEC folks in there.
Yes. All of them. But what stuck out to me, I don't even fight it in baseball and softball. It's the Southern I don't know how else to dominance. Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, A&M, Florida State, Tennessee, South Carolina. Now Oregon, hey, way to represent. Northwest.
I say the Big Ten schools are all Pac-12 schools that came over.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. UCLA, let me ask you a question. Would you consider UCLA northern or southern? Take the conference out of it. Are they more northern or southern in America?
I guess southern.
LA's at the bottom of California, or towards the bottom.
Yeah.
So there's literally one northern team. Thank God for the Northwest, Oregon. But yes, there is 8 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams in the top 10. Again, I've never once argued baseball or softball. Like, Southern teams have a flat-out advantage. When I grew up playing, with my kids playing club baseball and softball, if you go to Arizona in March to play in a tournament, the Arizona teams are exponentially ahead of teams from the North. It just is what it is. All right. But the Big Ten does have a couple of pretty good teams. Oregon, UCLA, Nebraska's in that conversation at this poll that we're looking at right now. All right. They're number 20. Again, in 2 of the 4 major polls, they are not ranked. But that's where I started doing a little bit of a deeper dive. So again, great start to the season, 24-8. Most amount of wins they've already had in one season in quite a while. The problem is their last 5 ranked opponents, they're 0-5. The 1 ranked team was the second game of the year. All right. Or let me take that back. First game of the year versus Tennessee. So they're 1-5 on the season, 0-5 in their last 5 games versus ranked teams. In the Power 4, they're 8-8. In the Big Ten, they're 4-3. Now, ultimately, the Big Ten is what's going to matter most, especially with those being the majority of the remaining games. Also, the competition does get a little bit tougher. All right. So I looked at some of the stats. You look at pitching. You're not going to be surprised by this. JORDY BAHL, all right, 1.53 ERA, 13 wins, 3 losses, over 100 innings pitched, doing really, really well. Opponent's batting average is 149, which is great for JORDY, awful for opponents who want to hit the ball off of her, but phenomenal for Nebraska fans. In fact, Jordy Bahl and Olivia DiNardo led Nebraska softball to a 5-0 win over Omaha last night. Bahl threw a season-high 13 strikeouts and retired 17 straight. DiNardo hit a grand slam and an RBI single for all 5 of Nebraska's RBIs. We need another pitcher to step up. The next 2 pitchers, all right, have an ERA of 3.53, 3.54. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. If you're trying to be really good, you want to be under 3. Over 4 isn't great. Our next 2 pitchers, 4.85, 4.90. You don't want to be over 4. In the 3s is kind of like average. Maybe it's probably about average. Over 4, I would consider above average as far as ERA. Under 3 is definitely pretty good. You want to have another pitcher that's under 3. Need another couple of pitchers to step up. And I'm not thinking about the overall win-loss total. I'm thinking about the postseason, which is what I'm looking forward to the most with this softball team. With baseball, I'm kind of like, let's get to the postseason. Let's get rolling a little bit. Let's get some more wins. They've done a little bit better lately, but we gotta find our stride in baseball. Softball's found their stride. So I'm not grading them on the same curve right now because softball is exponentially ahead of baseball. I'm looking at what softball's goals are. And ever since we had Emily Eamon on, and I asked her, is it realistic to expect this team to make a Women's College World Series run? And she said yes without hesitation. That's the curve that I'm grading on. That differentiation makes sense, Jake?
Sorry, I was looking something up.
No, it's okay.
Still building the game show.
The Carriker Trivia Channel. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. With the Big Ten baseball, before the season, I was grading on a curve of, hey, let's get back to that Big Ten championship game. Right now, I'm just like, let's get some more wins. With softball, I'm kind of like, how's this going to project to the postseason? You've got to have more pitchers step up. You look at the hitting, and we lead the nation in home runs. And I've talked about this before. Our batting average with runners on base lately has been better. With runners in scoring position has improved. It's still not where it needs to be. You can't have games where you go 0 of 14, like we did earlier on in the season with runners on base, 0 of 13 with runners in scoring position. You can't have those games. It can't be an all or nothing. Hey, we hit a home run, or 3 home runs, or 4 home runs. In the next game, we strand 13 runners. You gotta be able to come through in the key moments and the clutch moments. You got to find a way to play small ball, which is honestly a little bit easier in baseball than softball. But I've also mentioned before, bunting isn't just about sacrificing like it is in baseball. It's an actual part of the game. Slap bunting, all that stuff. Like, you can be an effective hitter if you can bunt well, you can slap bunt, you can hit, you can do whatever. It's much more a part of the game as softball. I want to see a more well-rounded game out of our offense. What we are is we would be like the football offense that can score 60 and 70-yard touchdowns, bam, but then the second half we struggle to get a first down. We need more consistency. It can't all be about explosions or boom, home runs off the bat. You got to be more consistent, especially in the key moments. Jordy Bahl leads the team with a 454 batting average. All right, Ava Kuzak, number 2, 411. Olivia DiNardo, who had a big day yesterday, 395. Need more hitters to step up as well. I'm still flabbergasted that Jordy never hit at Oklahoma. Like, how stacked were those freaking teams? Like, you hear four straight national titles, you know they're stacked. When Nebraska's leading hitter in multiple categories, but I've just focused on batting average for now, doesn't even hit at Oklahoma the previous 2 years or 3 years that she was there, 2 years. I'm like, holy crap, how stacked was that team? That's crazy. More girls need to step up. And I only bring this up because I see the potential for more girls to do it. It's like I wouldn't bring it up if I didn't see the potential. I wouldn't say, hey, more girls need to step up, when in the back of my mind, I'm like, they can't do it. Like, I only talk about things that I think should happen if I believe that they can happen. So I'm excited to see how this team continues to improve, how they do in the Big Ten, how they do as the conference play unfolds, how the whole pitching staff comes into form. Jordy has pitched more innings by herself, over 100 innings, than the next 2 pitchers combined, total innings pitched-wise. But you kind of expect something similar. Again, softball pitchers can pitch a ton. That natural motion doesn't affect their arm anywhere near like a baseball pitcher. Like my son the other day is doing a scrimmage with his high school, In the middle of the inning, they took him out. Wasn't anything going on, nothing wrong. My wife looks at me, she goes, what's going on? I go, I don't know, but I would guess pitch count. And they told him, hey, once you've thrown 30 pitches or whatever it is, especially early on in the season, you're coming out no matter what. Bases could be loaded or you could have struck out the 2 hitters, and that's what it was. I asked him after the game. He goes, yeah, pitch count. You don't have that near as much in softball. So you expect that, but we need more hitters to be more consistent in the key moments as well. All right, Jake, unless you got any final thoughts, we're going to head to break.
All right, let's go to break.
All right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com. Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Buffalo Wings and Rings today on 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village. Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, 4-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket
every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Jake, does there happen to be anything from the text line that we should address? Any thoughts there?
There's a few thoughts here. Somebody says Jake and his daggers, so I must have launched another
Jake
one of
and
those.
his daggers. The hot sky strikes again. Just kidding.
Husker Army says 3 old school guys that were some of the strongest Huskers ever: John Perella, Danny Noonan, and Broderick Thomas.
Oh, 1,000% true. Go ahead with more. I got a couple other guys now that's been brought up that popped into my head, but go ahead. Is there anything else?
1019 says, I've not been able to hear you guys since Nebraska lost an assistant basketball coach. How about Eric Strickland as the assistant coach and recruiting coordinator or something? Fred needs better players, and Eric has a good eye for talent.
All right, we need to address that one. I love it, and I hate it. I love it because E. Strick would do a phenomenal job, and I hate it because he'd be leaving the ticket. So I am utterly for and opposed it all at the same time. What are your thoughts, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, kind of I guess similar type of thing where, I mean, I think it'd be a good idea. We'll see where it goes. I think Strick would embrace it. So I think that'd be a pretty cool, and it'd be cool to have an NBA guy or a guy, one of your better known alumni around the program.
Now, I could be swayed if Strick was hired. And Adam, Jake, I'll give you all the inside access you want. Then I want him to get the job. I'm just saying, as long as I know there's a 51% chance of that, I could be all for it. Strick would do a great job. All right. Anything else?
No, nothing.
All right. Some of the strongest Huskers that I ever saw. Stu's one of them, but he was a pup when I was there. And people almost take that like it's an insult. You called him a pup. Well, I was a senior. He was a freshman. Okay, he was a pup in my eyes. But he was absurdly strong for a freshman. The way he played, I assume he got even more absurdly stronger. Stuart Bradley. I watched him. So we used to do step back lunges. So you step forward and you push back. Not step back. We just called them lunges. Obviously, I'm overthinking. I'm trying to explain it. But it's not like you're walking lunges. Like you're stationary. You got the bar on your back. You're in the squat rack, and you're going to step forward and push back. And when Coach K, the strength coach, was like, you guys will be doing 315 with this, I was like, what? We would do what? 315? This dude's nuts. I would watch guys do walking lunges with like 225 or 135 or 185 and be amazed. He was right. Way more than not, almost everybody on the team was doing, and it was only 3 reps per leg is what we would build up to. Okay. Guy, if you weren't doing 315, you were not considered strong on the team to begin with. 365, okay, was considered good. And it was good depth. If you didn't go low enough, nope. He would just stand there and say, nope. Like the wonderful jerk that he was. I love him. But in that moment, he was trying to be the biggest jerk he could because he was trying to get to you as well. Stuart Bradley did it with 405. I'm pausing for a 405 lunge. Standing there in the squat rack. You come back a little bit farther because you're going to step ahead and push back. Now, I think it was a day we did 2 reps on each leg. We only did that about once a year. 405. Okay. I saw him do that. I did it once. I did 405 once. I saw him do that at least once a year, every year when Coach K got there when we were sophomores. So that I always thought was insanely impressive. Seppo of Ware went from D tackle to offensive line. He went from being my buddy in the meeting room next to me to the guy I went against every day in practice. Sepp is, I think he's back in Finland now, Seppo. I never told him, so I'll say it publicly now that he can't hear me. He gave away everything he did in practice. I knew if it was a run. I knew if it was a pass. I knew which way he was going if it was a run play. The dude was a monster. He exploded off the ball. But part of the reason he could explode was he would lean his big old rear end one way or the other. And he'd stare right where he was going. By the way, most O-linemen do some sort of version of this. I can honestly tell you 90% of the time, first of all, if you just listen to them, they'll walk up to the line. Roger Linda, that's a pass because you're sliding right or left. So I knew if it's a pass before they ever got in the stance. If they called out the mic, I mean, this isn't rocket science here, but they were expecting a blitz, probably a pass, but not always. Deuce, 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 double team. Solo, solo, I got this guy one-on-one. Like, you learn these things if you just pay attention. And 90% of the time, the only guy I couldn't figure out was Tyron Smith of the Cowboys. I couldn't figure him out. And I swear to God, he knew I was trying to figure him out, and then he'd lean the wrong way, go the other way, and he made me look really bad a couple times. I didn't appreciate it at all. Then I figured out I can't trust anything he's telling me, and I had to play him straight up. He's the only reason it's not 99% of the time, because I couldn't figure that one guy out. Trent Williams was also tough in practice in D.C., but I didn't go against him a ton. Like most of the time, I knew run pass. I knew where they were sliding. And then if it was a run, it was, all right, you're going to take me one-on-one? Is it a deuce? Which way are you leaning? Oh, it's probably wide zone left, wide zone right. Like 90% of the time, I knew. And if I was wrong, I just live with it. You're going to be wrong sometime. Nobody bats 1,000. But my batting percentage was really, really high. It was in the 90%. And so that was something amazingly, I thought it was amazing, that helped me. And that was something I actually learned from Howie Long. So I actually started doing this in college, but he pulled me aside one day. He's like, hey, as soon as you break that defensive huddle, because the defenses always break first because you got to react to the offense. So you can't line up until you see where the offense is at because you have to adjust to them. They come out 4 wide receivers. You don't have guys bump or whatever. Or you got 4 linebackers on the field. If you're in a 3-4 and they got 4 wide, you're in trouble. Like, you have to react to them. If you're in 4 linebackers, they're not all of a sudden going to go, oh, we need 2 tight ends. No, they're going to exploit that. RPOs, all that good stuff. No huddle, keep you in it, so you have to use a timeout to get out or you're stuck in it. I remember when I met Howie. It was at his house in Virginia. Chris was at Virginia. Chris Long. He was going into his senior season. I'm sorry. Chris. What's the younger brother? The one that ended up being a guard for the Bears. First round pick. He was in high school, and he was going to go on to play baseball as a pitcher. He was left-handed. I remember that. Obviously, he switched to football and did pretty freaking well. He was a first-round pick, I believe. He's like 6'9".
Kyle Long?
Kyle. Yes, Kyle. So we knock on the door. Howie opens the door. Doesn't say hi. Doesn't say how you doing. Basically says, come on in, and goes and sits down. Like, immediately turns his back to me and walks away and goes and sits down. And he had notes. You think I've got notes? He's got notes. And he told me, because he's still doing the Fox pregame show. He's like, Adam, I'm up till 2, 3 in the morning watching film so I can analyze these guys and talk about it. Like, he is that intellectual dude who studies. Of all of his notes, it was so long ago, I don't remember everything, but the one thing that stood out to me is like, hey, break the huddle, get to the football fast, and listen. He's like, you will pick up more while they're still in the huddle and they're walking to the ball than you could ever possibly imagine. And I thought that was great advice. That has nothing to do with guys being strong. But there you go. I tend to go on random sidebar rants. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're just random sidebar rants. Other strong Huskers. Seppo. Oh, that's how I went on that. Seppo, we were doing, I think it was going into his senior year, summer, my junior year, his senior year, because he was a year older than me. He came in with Lakeven Smith, Titus Adams, all those big-time D tackles. And Lakeven and Titus were starting as D tackles. Seppo was starting as an O tackle. He had flipped over. And we're doing squats, heavy squats. I think it was reps of 5. It could have been 3. I can't remember. He put 500 on the bar. And he did it 5 times. But it was only like his second or third set after he'd warmed up. Like, you were supposed to, like, 3 or 4 sets. Like, it was a heavy squat day. We actually eliminated other exercises out of the equation so you could do more sets of squats. Coach K walks over and he goes, you're done. I looked at him like, what? I was like, he just made that look easy. Like, exactly. There's a risk to award injury here. He's like, that's insane. Seppo's bench wasn't the best in the world, nor was his clean, but his squat, which is why he was such a monster coming off the ball. Probably a huge part of the reason I spent so much time studying him. Because, like, if he had that initial advantage, I was in trouble. But he did 500 pounds for 5 reps. It looked like he was still in his warm-up sets. I can't tell you how jealous, excuse me, I was that day. I was like, holy crap. All right, I'm trying to think of, those are the people that stick out to me immediately. I mean, guys, just like, now let's go pound for pound. Brandon Rigoni, bar none. Pound for pound is Brandon frickin' Rigoni. Walk on, Lincoln Southeast. A guy that nobody wanted to go against in Oklahoma drill. Who was I chatting with the other day? I was chatting with somebody, former Husker. I forget who it was. And I guess Eric Martin was a guy who used to, Rex Burkhead. and they used to be able to do the wedge on kickoff return. And Eric Martin was that guy that everybody would stand up and watch because they knew he was going to blow up the wedge. And nobody wanted to be on the wedge because he was the ultimate wedge buster back in the day. And I brought up Rigoni because that was Rigoni. Rex goes, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you know how much smaller Rigoni is than Eric Martin?" I was like, "Yeah." And it didn't matter. Nobody wanted to touch that dude. Not only was he insanely strong and spent a crazy amount of time in the weight room, but I would notice that he would spend a ton of time stretching every day after practice. He was not the tallest dude in the world, insanely jacked. And so I'm like, "Why do you spend so much time? How much time do you spend stretching every day?" He goes, 45 minutes. I was like, "Whoa. Why?" He goes, "My muscles have nowhere to go, so I cramp all the time." So he spends all this extra time lifting, all this extra time stretching. Like, I've never seen anybody in my life work harder than him, plus everything else he did. Those are the guys that kind of stick out to me. We're supposed to play a Hoiberg clip, and we've not gotten to it at all. Should we go to break, do the Hoiberg clip? Because he's talking about the transfer portal being right now. I thought it was an interesting clip. Should we save that? Come back after break?
Save it, yeah.
All right, let's go to break. And we will talk about Hoiberg and his thoughts on the transfer portal because it makes so much sense that it's right now in the middle of the freaking tournament. We'll be right back.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease. Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Chief Dave Engler. When a fire truck hits a pothole with 12 tons of fast-moving equipment and crew, it's a problem. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue Lincoln's quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements. A vote against eliminates the street funding. A vote for will not raise your taxes and keeps the funding in place. And better roads means faster response times. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com.
We use our Lincoln streets every day, and so do first responders. But visitors and out-of-town commuters also do. A quarter-cent sales tax for streets passed by voters in 2019 makes those commuters pay about $6 million a year to improve streets. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue it. A vote against means no more funds from commuters. A vote for will not raise your taxes, and commuters still pay. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com. Paid for by the City of Lincoln.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac, nachos, and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Join Jay Foreman, Eric Strickland, and Austin Norman this Thursday, March 27th at the brand new Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane as we celebrate MLB opening day and the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. That's Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK. Make flying easy.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms early this morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny and warm with the high near 82. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy, a low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with the high near 83. And meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. At the top of the hour, Matt RHULE expects us to have an elite defensive line. Jake, you didn't say average, good. Guys ready to step up. Like he expects to have one of the best defensive lines around. We're going to talk about that at the top of the hour. Also, react to a little bit of pro day news. But before we do that, pardon me as I battle with the mic. I've had less battles with the mic lately. Either that or I'm just winning and it's losing its will to fight me. I don't know. We're going to play a little clip from Fred Hoiberg and his thoughts on the transfer portal going on in the middle of the frickin' tournament and basketball season because it makes so much sense. So let's hear what Coach Hoiberg has to say.
Yeah. I mean, it happened last year when we got in the NCAA tournament. The portal opened that same week. This year we've got a week leading into the tournament where we're doing a lot of work right now. Like I said, Zoom calls and visits, and we'll continue to evaluate and go out and see guys. So it's practice in the morning, and then it's working all day on filling the holes that we'll have on our roster next year with the 7 guys that are leaving this program, and filling it with the right type of player that fits our system. And getting Rink back is huge, and that was such a great announcement. He's basically been cleared to start doing more activity on the court. He's been doing pretty much all treadmill work to this point. We've had to hold him back. He is just itching to get back out there on the floor, start doing some cutting, moving, shooting, stationary shooting, and get back ready in the next couple months to make the same impact that he did for our team last year. But getting Rink back is such a huge move, as big as any offseason move that we'll have is getting Rink back on the court.
So I went on yet another unplanned rant on Tuesday about the whole transfer portal during the season, basketball season, etc. So what are your thoughts on this, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting Rink Masters back is huge, as he was kind of pointing out there. But I mean, it's asking a lot out of these, kind of head coaches, GMs, whatever you want to kind of put in charge there. But particularly for Fred, you kind of think about they hosted a player the other day. They're still trying to finish their tournament, and it's one thing, obviously, to be in the crown, but for college basketball as a whole to be in the NCAA tournament, like. I could get Crown NIT. You could say, okay, well, put your priorities and get next year's team put together or whatever. But if you're in the NCAA tournament, your priority should be trying to win the championship. So it's just a mess. It's similar to college football, during bowl season and open it up. It doesn't work all that well. There's I think over 1,200 players in the portal already. And it's a big ask this offseason. They are going to have to add a lot of guys to this team to fill out a competitive team in the Big Ten next year. And yeah, I just wish the calendar was worked a little bit better so they could give their full attention to one or the other.
And so I went on a gigantic rant on this the other day. So I'm not going to do it again. I'll probably do it some point down the road again. So I'm going to set aside the obvious. This makes no sense. The timing makes no sense. You're trying to win basketball games. You're trying to win a national title. If you're NCAA tournament, why you have free agency going on at the same time? Okay. Said that before. I'll say it again at some point, especially when I kind of lay out what I think the college football offseason should look like from a business standpoint, because people are more keenly aware now than they ever have been that college sports are a business. I've always said player safety is nothing more than a business model to keep, for fans to think that they actually care about their players, so you're more likely to watch the product, make more money. It's nothing more than a facade and a mirage, and I've always thought that. I've always said, hey, there are certain people in college athletics who love their players, but these guys are a spoke on a wheel. And either you're helping win games and make money, or you're out. It's always been that way. People are just more keenly aware of it. So let's look at it from that standpoint. To be clear, there are people who genuinely care about the players, but they are not the folks in charge, unfortunately. They do not have the loudest voices in the room at this moment in time. So if you just look at it from a business standpoint, because people are keenly aware, college sports is a business. Always has been, just more up in your face now than it's ever been. It's undeniable. Why would you have the transfer portal, free agency for your college basketball or football or whatever at the same time as your championship tournament? Why would you not put it in a different time of the year? Why would you not spread things out? People are much more, people tune into the draft because it's a big deal for the NFL. Also, it's not in the middle of the AFC NFC championship game. It'd be much harder to pay attention to it. Major League Baseball screws this up too. When's the last time you paid attention to a Major League Baseball draft for more than 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes? It's in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
What are you doing? From a business perspective, spread things out. Signing day should not be in the season. The transfer portal, your free agency, should be spread out throughout the year. People know when the combine is. People know when the NFL draft is. People know when free agency opens in March. People know all this stuff. It's one of the reasons the NFL dominates. Spread these things out, get more attention on them, get more eyeballs on them, give people who want to pay attention to them more chance to pay attention to them. Because then what you have is gigantic lulls in the offseason where people aren't interested. From a business perspective, you want to keep your people engaged year-round. You want to give them something to pay attention to, and the more you spread things out, the more focus there can be. The more eyeballs on it, the more money you can make. I'm not even talking about the common sense of how this doesn't make any common sense, the way things are laid out in college sports. I'm talking from a purely business perspective, which is what, and there's good people in charge, but it's business first. Why not spread things out throughout the year? Oh, by the way, let's just make more common sense for teams trying to win NCAA tournament games, or a coach who's trying to coach his team to finish the season strong in the Crown tournament. Now, as busy as I'm sure Fred is, there's exponentially more players to deal with on a football team. Like what football coaches have to deal with, Jake, it's not ASA 7, it's not ASA 8, it's ASA 9. It is insane what they have to deal with. I'm not trying to diminish any other sport and how difficult it is, but from a sheer number standpoint, they're getting down to 105. What are we going to do? We don't have enough players. That's like 4 basketball teams or 6, with all due respect. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it's just crazy how college sports works right now. You got any final thoughts before we head to break?
No, that is a good point that you make. And so, maybe that's less of a reason for there to be a GM, I suppose, on the basketball side, that like we do see in the football side, where they're, especially at Nebraska, making some pretty good money.
Oh, yes. Well, actually, since you brought it up, this is not breaking news. This was put out the other day. But since Jake brought it up, all right, Nebraska GM Pat Stewart lands a 3-year, $2.55 million deal, matching Oklahoma's Jim Nagy and trailing only UNC's Michael Lombardi. All right. Big-time moves in college football. Cost a lot of money to make a lot of money. All right. And if you're going to take a guy from the NFL and bring him to college sports, it's going to take a lot of money. That makes sense, too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we return, how good will Nebraska's defensive line be? Carriker's Trivia Challenge, and we will chat about a few other things, including some folks genuinely think Thomas Fidone has the potential to be drafted mid-round. In the middle round, look good at the pro day, and other things as well. Troy Dannon, what do you think of the new basketball court proposal that he has with the state and Herbie holding the ball at midcourt? What do you think of all that?
Oh, I love it. It looks very much like fan-friendly. Younger generation will love it, too, I think.
And before we go, just because these sports cannot be talked about too much, and then we'll go to break and we'll come back. Nebraska in the past 2 weeks actually has 4 national champions, 2 in wrestling, as we know, and 2 in track and field. And when the track and field individuals won their national championships, Axelina Johansson in the shot put and Tyrus Wilson in the high jump, we talked about it here on this show. But I wanted to point that out again. That's pretty freaking cool. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Do you need a urologist? At Urology Partners of Nebraska, we understand the urgency of your health. That's why we offer appointments within 48 hours. Although we're new to the community, our team brings years of experience and expertise to provide you with the best care possible. From vasectomies to kidney stones, we've got you covered for all your urology health concerns. Call 402-413-2800 today and experience the difference at Urology Partners of Nebraska.
Hey volleybalfans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
I'm softball player JORDY BAHL, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease. Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Stars fans, I'm Ford Jack Picard. Join us for Billet Appreciation Night on Saturday, March 29th, when we take on the Des Moines Buccaneers at 6:05 p.m. Our billets make each season possible by opening up their homes to players like me each season. We'll be honoring them before the game on the ice with us as a small token of our appreciation. Purchase your tickets now by heading to LincolnStars.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Early break, sort of interesting that we could all learn from. He doesn't look at himself just as a running back, he said. I look at myself as a weapon. You should follow suit. I'm not just a radio host, I'm a weapon.
Noted.
We're weapons.
Weapons.
Yes. Weapons of destruction.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker, who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show, hour number 2, here on 93.7 The Ticket. I hope you're having a glorious Thursday. Are you having a glorious Thursday, Jake?
Oh, it's glorious so far.
Where does glorious rank on below average, average, above average, great, awesome, glorious, elite? Where's glorious rank on your meter there?
I think glorious, yeah, it's a little bit above awesome. I mean, that's got to be maybe a little bit under elite, though. But if you're doing the Husker meter, then elite kind of brings it down because they use that word too much.
So basically, we questioned the other day if Nebraska was going to have an elite wide receiver room because that was brought up a couple times in the press conference on Monday. So it may not be an elite wide receiver room, but it might be a glorious wide receiver room. Is that what you're saying? Is that what we can say right here, right now?
How often they use elite? I'm just going to say better. Elite means better than average to me when I hear it from Matt Rhule.
Well, elite does not mean better than average, but I see what you're saying as far as how often it's used versus how things have played out. That makes some perfect sense.
How often it is actually elite.
It's been a while. All right, ladies and gentlemen, loaded hour. Actually, Dana Holgorsen, I forgot to mention this earlier. He is at the podium right now. We'll try to get you notes from his press conference as well during the second hour of the Adam Carriker Show. This show is wonderfully timed because most press conferences happen during the first hour, 11 to noon of this show, and then we can react the second hour. Even with Holgorsen now, we'll have a solid 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever he's done to react to what he had to say. So that is another bonus if you enjoy this program here on 93.7 The Ticket, the Adam Carriker Show. Once again, just a reminder, the inaugural Carriker Chronicles football camp. If you're interested, registering. If you're interested in learning more about it, former Heisman Trophy winner, College Football Hall of Famer Eric Crouch will be there. The Ticket's own Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, all-time leading rusher, two-time national champ Amon Green will be there. I will be there as well. And again, I'm in conversations with a couple of other former Husker legends as well. Go to CarrikerChronicles.com to learn more about that. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., July 9th. All right. Autographs. T-shirts are included, boys and girls, K through 8. If you're just starting out or you want to take your game to the next level because you've been doing it for quite a while, go to CarrikerChronicles.com to learn more and or register. All right. Let's talk about... Did he say elite when he used the defensive line? Here's one quote. All right, from Matt Rhule when he talked about the defensive line the other day. I quote, "I think we're going to have one of the best D lines around." End quote. Did he? I don't think he ever said the word elite. I think I know they said it with regards to the wide receiver room, but one of the best defensive lines around. What are your? Oh, hold on. Carriker's Trivia Challenge is here. Back, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't done it in a while. You want to do Carriker's Trivia Challenge? All right, it's pretty simple. Call this number. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
Continues to stay the same. Call that number. We'll bring you on air. We'll have some fun. You get 3 questions. I get 3 questions. Either way, all right, somebody's going to win something, but if you beat yours truly, you have a chance. Well, you will win a prize. All right. Also, if you lose, be the first person to call in. So you can simply just hang up, call right back in, and you still might win a prize as well. All right. Carriker's Trivia Challenge makes its return. If it does happen today, it might happen tomorrow. What is the topic? I never even know the topic. What is the topic if we do this?
Well, I was thinking it could have been opening day, but since Holgorsen's talking, I'm just going Dana.
It is opening day of Major League Baseball. Who you got winning it all?
The Dodgers are a very heavy favorite.
Yeah, shocker.
I think they're the most, I don't know how to word this, I guess. They're the biggest favorite since 2002 Yankees on opening day.
I mean, is that even a surprise? Are we even remotely surprised by that?
No, they won the World Series last year and got better in the offseason.
Oh, my gosh. Like, they have spent so much money. They have stacked that roster. The Dodgers, the Braves, all right, still, they got Strider back. Ronald Acuna Jr. is back. Those guys are healthy after being injured a lot of last year. The Yankees are always a threat. They're always going to have some guys. The Mets have tried to spend a bunch of money and get better as well. Yes, I'm a big ogre sitting here talking about Major League Baseball. We talk about all sports in general. Isn't that right, Jake?
That's right.
I think the World Series is really going to be the NLCS. The two best teams, in my opinion, on paper, I don't know, have they thrown an opening pitch yet today? All right, are the Braves and the Dodgers. That's in my opinion, are the two best teams on paper. Then the Yankees, then the Mets. But there's some separation from the Dodgers, Braves to Yankees, Mets, and then there's more separation to everyone else. And I hope somebody steps up, has a surprise season, has a great season. I want to see more of that in Major League Baseball. You don't get to see it as much, but I do think the pitch clock has helped the game. It's helped speed up the game. More people are paying attention. I know at my son's high school, Standing Bear, I mean, they got 4 teams. They don't even have a senior class right now. They got a varsity, a JV, a reserve, and a freshman team. They got 4 teams and only 3 classes. They won't have seniors till next year. They got freshmen, sophomore, juniors. Like, baseball is probably the most popular sport at that school. I know football's up there as well. But, like, I think baseball's starting to gain a little bit of steam, a little bit of momentum again. I think the pitch clock has actually helped. The NBA's got to find something at some point. And I actually think what they're doing to college basketball is hurting their own game. The one and done. Like, you need, one thing that helps the NFL is ready-made stars right out of college football. People know who Travis Hunter and Shadur and Cam Ward and all these guys are. Abdul Carter. How many of the college basketball guys, like, how often have you thought about Zach Edey since he left Purdue?
Oh, he's doing pretty good there in the NBA.
But have you realistically paid attention to him?
Only in his scuffles with Draymond.
Well, my point is you need more ready-made stars. I actually think they should go back to either you can come straight out of high school, because that's a wow factor. I remember LeBron and Kobe doing that. I immediately paid attention to those guys. Or you got to be in college 2 years, because then you got 2 years to get to know these people. And I think actually the game of basketball in the NBA would be better with everyone having to play an additional year, because your skills would be better. Jordan could have left a year earlier than he did, but he stayed because he wanted to get better. So my point is simply, I actually think they're robbing college basketball of some of the top-end players, trying to get them in the NBA sooner. And I think they're hurting themselves because you don't have the fan recognition of some of these players going straight into the NBA that people immediately want to follow. Just my humble thoughts. Opening day, Major League Baseball. I'm excited. All right. Our defensive line, though. Were you surprised when RHULE said he expects us to have one of the best defensive lines around? Because I can honestly say, like, when you pay, I just like to do simple things like connect dots. I try to, the conversations that I'm privy to have with certain people who know things on the inside, I try to, obviously, they're nice to have and you can use those when you're doing a show like this. But I try to also just step back and act like I don't have those and just connect dots from a distance. They brought in a couple of guys, Jalen, George, Gabe from the portal for the D-line, but they were young guys. There wasn't a whole lot of experienced guys. I mean, Jalen's a little bit older. He's going to be out this spring. He'll be back this fall. But it wasn't a whole lot of proven guys. And then the running back room, they brought in nobody. They offered one guy early in December. That was it. Just because he was such an insane talent. But nothing since. Haven't brought in anybody. And so you just connect dots. You're like, they must feel good about those rooms. And then you hear RHULE say, don't think we need to address the running back room. Feel good about it. Going to have one of the best defensive lines around. The running back room I wasn't as surprised about, because he kind of was a little less definitive. He was just, I don't think we need to address it. And then he went on to talk about Quentin Ives and a couple other guys. We're actually going to talk about running backs tomorrow in depth, and Emmett Johnson being a weapon. I love that word. A weapon. Dude, a weapon of mass destruction. Like, if I'm Emmett Johnson, that's my goal. That's what's written on my goal board, to be a weapon of mass destruction. That is all encompassing right there. That encompasses everything you need to know. But we'll talk more running backs tomorrow. I was surprised about the defensive line because we don't have anybody who's consistently proven. You at least have Emmett. You don't just have to fill one position like you do at running back. You got to fill 3. And he didn't just say, hey, we've got guys ready to go. We've got guys ready to step up. I don't think there's going to be a drop-off. I don't think we're going to be pretty good. We're going to have one of the best defensive lines around is a very definitive statement. And if it turns out to be true, people are going to remember that. If it turns out not to be true, people are going to remember that too. What are your thoughts on all this, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was good to hear, and it makes some more sense, right, from what we're kind of tracking in the offseason is trying to find a running back at that position. The defensive line, it's more depth to me than some of the guys up front. They may not have that many starts, But we've seen Elijah Judy and Cam Linhart and Riley Van Poppel in action. And they did go out to get depth this offseason, and getting Jalen George and Gabe Moore. Those are two of the transfer portal additions that I think we talk about flying under the radar. They just don't, it's a guy that redshirted and a guy from the FCS. So it is where it is. But obviously the big addition of Williams Nwaneri is the biggest one. But I think at defensive line, a place where you really could need depth, right? And then you rotate quite a bit. That's more of my concern than the front line guys, because I can pencil in a good front rotation. It's kind of those names behind that we hope. We talk about the offensive side of the ball and the offensive line, and how at some point Raiola is going to have to develop some of those younger guys so they can get into the rotation and start playing. Same can be said on the defensive line.
So I don't know, if we were just to project starters on the D-line, who would you project? They're not even in pad. They practiced today, first day in pads. Probably would have been half pads. That's how it typically goes. 2 days non-padded, half pads, full pads. And then usually the last day before a spring game is your last day in without pads, because you want to be fresh for the spring game the next day. So we'll see how that plays out, because there is no spring game. But Husker games is going to take place. But who would be your projected defensive line starters right now at this very, very early moment in time, Jake?
I think I'd probably go Riley Van Poppel, Cam Linhart, and Keona Davis with Elijah Judy also. I mean, it's a three-man front, but those four basically be your starters.
Who's your nose?
I think Elijah Judy, that's why I mentioned him there at the end, but Van Poppel's got the size as well.
Then you got Jalen George again. He'll be back in the fall. Gabe Moore. You see him more as a nose or an end, Jake?
Moore's listed at 250, so I would say Moore, unless he gains.
Oh, I thought he was like, why did I think he was 300? Am I just way off on that?
I'm not sure.
Hold on, let me. No, you're right. 250. Wow, I was way off on that. I was thinking he was 300 when he came. I haven't looked at him since he committed in the transfer portal. When was that? December, January? So, yeah. All right. What I see when I look at the D-line, and when you think about why Matt Rhule would say what he said, I see talented guys with ability, guys that can excite you. You think back to the bowl game. We were in the backfield a lot against Boston College. A lot. What really hurt us was the blocked kicks and a couple of big plays. Outside of that, the defense, they were getting downhill. They were attacking. They were blitzing. They were in the backfield a lot. Our linebackers and our D-line were penetrating. It's exciting. Keona, athletic. Elijah Judy, the only senior we have up front. Cam Linhart, a guy who started 6 games 2 years ago as a true freshman. Van Poppel, a 4-star guy out of high school. Williams Nwaneri, I'm curious to see if he's more with his hand in the dirt or standing up, coming off the edge type guy. We'll see what happens. Again, this is a multiple type defense. So maybe we go more 4 down and he's standing up, coming off the edge as that 4th guy. I don't know. Gabe Moore is a guy that you didn't hear a ton about, but again, go back to high school. You saw good things. That's what sticks out to me when I watched his film when he first committed out of the transfer portal here from Mississippi State. I saw good things. Redshirted last year. For Matt Rhule to say that, he's not basing anything off anything he has seen this year. Again, they haven't even been in pads yet, unless they were probably half pads this morning. That's it. They haven't even been full pads yet this year. Now, he can project a little bit off winter conditioning and guys getting bigger, faster, stronger. This is based off things he saw last year in practice. There is a valid concern that Husker fans are going to be hit hard without Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmaker, and people are going to be like, oh, man, I don't think we realize just how good they were for us. Well, if that's the case, then the guys that are stepping up playing next year must be struggling a little bit. Otherwise, I don't know what that would mean. Matt Rhule comes out and he has said it was undervalued what Ty Robinson did for us last year. But then he's come out and said he expects us to have one of the best defensive lines around next year. I think what that means is he saw things in practice last year. Maybe those guys weren't quite ready, but he believes sometimes that little time, that little extra time can be a huge difference maker. I was not the same football player December of my true freshman year that I was when we started spring practice in March. Still my true freshman year, just about 3 months later. I was not the same football player. I got to go home. I got to get over the homesickness. I got to come back. I was much more acclimated to what college life was like, living here full time. College football was like, college classes were like. If I'm being fully honest, I had a new roommate. Thank God for that. That was a huge difference maker. And I didn't expect what happened my true freshman year in the spring. I felt like that was me coming into my own, and I had ups and downs, as a true freshman would, even in the spring. But I started doing some really good things. And so sometimes that little time frame can make a big difference. So I'm willing to bet Matt Rhule saw things last fall. Obviously, there's been some improvements over winter conditioning, bigger, faster, stronger, all that good stuff. And he feels very confident about our defensive line. I don't question the talent or ability. Just got to go see it. Kind of like with a lot of things. I think our wide receiver room is very talented. A lot of ability. Just got to see it. I got to see it. I got to see it, man. It's fun to throw around the E word, but I want to see the P word, which is production. Saying we're elite is great. Let's get some production. That excites me more. Anything else real quick, Jake?
No, I and sometimes you think about Matt Rhule and the different buttons he wants to push too. I kind of thought maybe you could say this is a group that has a lot of upside, but we need to get there. But I think part of that is just kind of saying, like you were kind of saying there too, is I think that the talent is there, the upside is there. We just got to kind of see it play out. And I still kind of go back to just the first year he was on campus and the defensive line was a major question mark, and watch that spring game and go, this defensive line's flashing quite a bit. Unfortunately, we won't get the spring game this year to really make that sort of assessment. But like you were saying, if they were showing off in practice enough that they didn't feel like they needed to go in and add top flight guys out of the portal. Like I said, yes, it appears they got some depth. Yes, they got a pass rusher in Waneri, but they didn't like go out and get a major piece that you see right away as definitely being a starter. Then you feel comfortable about the guys they had on campus and that they were looking for depth, not necessarily a starter.
He makes some great points. And buttons he wants to push. He definitely uses that microphone to communicate messages. Sometimes it's to his own players. I don't think he does that a ton. I think he's aware of how that affects players sometimes. But he definitely does it for the media, and he definitely wants to send a message to fans sometimes. The buttons he wants to push. Now, I'm just going to stand on this hill. Maybe I'll die on it. I still think him talking about the jump and this, and I don't think it's necessary. I think it's unnecessary added pressure. Just say, we're going to get better. We are getting better. Nobody's going to work harder. Nobody's going to practice harder. Nobody's going to work longer than us. Nobody's going to put more hours in. He's not said that. I mean, we know he works his butt off. I don't question that, but like, I think he's put a lot of pressure on himself. I think he even mentioned it in the Pat McAfee show. He's like, a lot of pressure, huh? Because he talked about that year 3 jump, and that's what happens. And that's what he's been talking about. I think it's unnecessary. I hope he didn't do something similar here with the D line and unnecessary pressure, so to speak. But I know he's got a reason. There's a reason that he said it and he did it and he wants to do it and speak that way and push those buttons, so to speak, like Jake said. Ladies and gentlemen, Carriker's Trivia Challenge. If you want to take on yours truly, be the first person to call in. All right, win a prize, $100 gift certificate to Automotive Solutions. All right, what's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
Be the first person to call in. You get 3 questions. I get 3 questions. We'll have a little repertoire back and forth, little trivia challenge on air. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK, make flying easy.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off. Mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934. HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
When your home fills up with family, Aloe Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Aloe Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Aloe at 866-481-2556 or visit aloefiber.com.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease. Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker. The Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We have a caller on the line. Can you bring our caller on? We're going to do a little bit of Carriker's Trivia Challenge there, Jake.
Yeah, welcome on to the show. Remind us your name here on the line.
Jay.
Jay, all right. Jay's got an opportunity to win today.
How's it going, Jay? Good luck to you, my friend.
Not too bad, thank you.
All right, let's get into some trivia. Once again, it's the either or question, so you won't sound too silly, and then we'll get one at the end. We will start with Jay with our trivia challenge today. Again, this is on Dana Holgorsen, Nebraska's new offensive coordinator. Let's start with this. Which top Oklahoma State wide receiver won the Biletnikoff Award under Dana Holgorsen as an offensive coordinator in 2010? Was it Justin Blackman or Des Bryant?
Blackman.
It was Blackman, so there's 1 point for Jay. In 2010 as well, Holgorsen coached Doak Walker Award semifinalist running back Kendall Hunter. So give him credit. He does have a Doak Walker semifinalist under his wings. Who won the Doak Walker who won the Doak Walker Award that year? Was it Wisconsin's John Clay or Oregon's LaMichael James?
LaMichael James.
He's a 2010 expert. He's got two of them so far. In 13 seasons as head coach, Jay, how many winning seasons did Dana produce? Was it 8 or 9?
9.
It was 9. 3 for 3. Jay makes it very difficult for Adam here as we go. All right.
Alrighty.
Pressure is on. Let's start with your question here. Holgorsen was co-OC at Texas Tech before his stint as offensive coordinator at Oregon State. Who was he co-OC with? Which future college football head coach? Was it Seth Luttrell or Sonny Dykes?
Sonny Dykes.
It was Sonny Dykes. So there's 1 point for you. How many of Holgorsen's 13 teams, have finished in the top 25? Finished the season in the top 25. Was it 4 or 6?
6.
It was 4 teams that finished in the top 25.
Been eliminated.
Which means Jay wins. But we'll go ahead and see if you get this
Dang
one.
it.
Dana has been to 10 bowl games as a head coach. Does he have a winning record? Yes or no? In those bowl games?
Yes.
He does not. 4 and 6.
Gosh,
bowl
dang
games.
it.
Yeah.
All I could think of was West Virginia when they killed Clemson in the Orange Bowl and they killed Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. And that was stuck in my head. Hey, congratulations, Jay. You mollywop me today.
Thank you.
All right, there you go.
Don't forget to pick up your prize, my friend. Oh, man, that's brutal. 9-4-1. That's what I am now on the year. 9-4. It doesn't get any more Pelini-esque than that. 9-4-1. All right, couple of things real quick. Nebraska's Pro Day was on Tuesday, and people have, throughout this draft process, they've taken notice of Thomas Fidone. All right, here's what one scout wrote. Strong day for Thomas Fidone in the setting, moving well, lining up in line and out wide, sure-handed, explosive in and out of breaks. Hard not to see why he's emerging as a potential mid-round pick. Explosive in and out of breaks. That's the part that stuck out the most to me. I hope that continues going forward. All right, I mentioned this earlier. Nash Hutmaker had 26 reps on the 225-pound bench press. His best is 28. All right, Ty Robinson. And you could see Nash was a little bit fired up about the lack of an invite to the NFL Combine, which is very understandable. Ty Robinson, now the 50th overall ranked prospect heading into this year's NFL Draft. Top 50, by the way. Top 50 is a second-round pick. Pretty good. All right. Listed at 6'5", 288. Robinson has enjoyed a rapid rise up the board during the pre-draft process thanks to his Senior Bowl week and combine performance. He's an ideal 5 technique for a 3-4 defense. Yes, he is. I'd agree with that. With the ability to slide inside on passing downs, Robinson is an ascending player who put his best tape together in 2024, showing improved quickness and awareness. While he doesn't have top-tier pass rush tape, he's an elite run defender. I think people forget that Ty was pretty highly recruited coming out of high school. I believe one of the top 300 players in America, 4-star. Like, the dude is incredibly talented. I think after a while, the longer you are at a certain place, people, I don't want to say they take it for granted, but they tend to forget certain things, and I think they were reminded of those things last season. Whoever gets Ty Robinson's getting a football player. That's what they're getting. They're getting a football player. All right. And I got a text from someone who says that the Yankees, or one of the baseball coaches at Standing Bear High School, the Yankees are going to be better than the Dodgers. See what happens there. I just can't root for the Yankees. I'm sorry. But the Yankees better than the Dodgers. It's weird to think that the Yankees would be like pulling an upset. They'd be the underdog in this scenario. It almost makes me want to root for them. And we got a question from the text line. Is there anything else from the text line aside from the women's wrestling question, which I'm going to get to here in a second?
No.
Somebody asked, and correct me if I'm wrong, but basically they asked, when will women's wrestling become a collegiate sport? Is that correct?
That's correct.
I think it's coming soon. I mean, 4 years ago, I believe it started in high school. Now, I got a 6th grade daughter who is thinking about wrestling for the first time next year as a 7th grader. She is, for her, like, she's not like big, but she is strong. And she is wiry. And she is feisty. Insanely aggressive. She doesn't like basketball. You know why? Because all the fouls that get called on her. Like, that's her biggest issue with basketball. Like, she likes soccer because you can be a lot more physical. So we'll see what happens with women's wrestling and girls wrestling. I love that it's ascending through the high school ranks. Girls flag football is growing rapidly as well. There are some schools, some lower level schools that are starting to give out scholarships for flag football in college. Women's wrestling in college, I would say within another 4 years. If that long. It may not even take that long. Within another 4 years. Do we have any notes from Dana's press conference yet?
Yeah, there's been a few things that come out. I can send you some of the notes here when here during the break, but yeah, I don't think anything necessarily huge came out. It was interesting that he did say that he's turned the page from the air raid, and that's something that he's kind of moved on from a few years back at West Virginia. They have changed a few of their passing sets, but overall the offense isn't going to be all that. You know, they're kind of working with what they had from previously. To narrow down the offense.
I definitely want to talk about that when we come back from break. I think that's very interesting. All right, the rest of this week in Husker sports. Again, last night was softball. Friday, you got women's golf, men's tennis, and actually the men's tennis coach will be joining us here in the near future, probably in the next week or two. Baseball against Oregon State on the Big Ten Network. Saturday, women's golf, women's tennis, softball versus Purdue, baseball versus Oregon State. Do you know if baseball at Oregon State's still really good now that they're not a Power 4 team? Because they were a top 10 program year in and year out.
Yeah, at least they're coming into this week at number 5.
Okay, so they're still really good. All right, so you got women's golf, baseball versus Oregon State again, men's tennis versus Indiana. You can check that out at Huskers.com. Softball versus Purdue. And then next week on Monday, softball versus Purdue, men's basketball versus Arizona State in the inaugural Crown Tournament. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit of Dana Holgerson and give her a reaction to his press conference. Don't go anywhere. We shall return.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Tuesday, April 1st, Wolves plays West Ham at 1:45 p.m., followed by Nottingham Forest versus Man United at 2 p.m. On Wednesday, April 2nd, Newcastle plays Brentford at 1:45 a.m., followed by Liverpool versus Everton at 2 p.m. Liverpool currently leads the standings with 70 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket, your place for English Premier League soccer, located at 8th and P.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms early this morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny and warm with a high near 82. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. Will be breezy and warm with a high near 83. And meteorologist Kyle Carriker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got about 7 or 8 minutes to talk about 2 hours worth of stuff. I'm not even making that up. All the press conference notes from Holgorsen to Dylan Raiola, some interesting things that I would love to spend much more time chatting about. Hey, Jake, remind me, we have a show tomorrow, right?
We do.
You fine folks should tune in tomorrow. We're going to get to the initial stuff from Holgorsen. We're going to dive more into everything he had to say tomorrow. Also, Dylan Raiola talking about being in the best shape. Let me get the direct quote. I don't want to misquote this. I feel amazing right now. Probably the best shape I've ever been in. That was the quote. Says he's dropped 9 or 10 pounds. So a loaded show tomorrow. But let's get to the initial stuff. All right, Holgorsen, from the time he came in until right now, the bowl games, he says, and I quote, "I've never worked so hard in my life," end quote. Said a majority of the offense will remain the same, but have some major adjustments to the pass game. They've narrowed down the offense. And he talks later on about how he's kind of moved on, all right, from the air raid, so to speak, has turned the page from the air raid, adds this is something he moved on from a few years ago in at West Virginia. He embraced the tough, hard-nosed program RHULE has instilled here, have made some changes to the 2-minute offense that Dylan is happy with, something they know needs improvement from last season. Yeah, we had no 2-minute offense. We had the slow as molasses offense, which was everything that we did. And I pointed that out last year. It's not hindsight, it's 2020. Something they're clearly working on. Moving on from the air raid. I mean, they said it wasn't going to be the air raid. Now, I will say this. When you got guys like Isaiah Hunter and Hardly Gilmore and Ja'Cory Barney and other guys in this room as well, Demetrius Bell's back. I don't think he's back for the spring. But who am I leaving out? Oh, Dane freaking Key. Like, we could go 2, 3, 4 wide receivers way more often than not and go to the air raid with a guy like Dylan Raiola at quarterback, Emmett Johnson at running back. I mean, I can just imagine Harburg whenever Carter Nelson's healthy. Some of these other guys, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I don't have time to list everybody. Like, some of the catches that they could make in an air raid pass-heavy offense. And I know everything I've said sounds like I'm advocating for it. I'm not. That's not what Matt Rhule wants to do, and they've moved on from it. It's just like, if I take my let's win games hat off and I just put this would be really fun to watch hat on, oh my God, that'd be so much fun to watch. And I think we'd win a few games. Again, I'm not advocating for it, but dude, what if? What if we just went 3 or 4 wide and just air raided it out just at some point in the season, just to have fun with it, Jake? As long as we win the game, a team we're really favored to do it against. What would that look like? What would your reaction be?
Yeah, I mean, again, as long as it's, I mean, you're putting a lot of stress on your defense there, potentially. And it's fun to say you could do the air raid, but if you're just, 3 and out really quick, it could go wrong. So you got to have the personnel. You got to be ready for it. So, man, you get me worried here. But, yeah, against a team that you maybe already got a 2-touchdown lead, break it out for the second half, that'd be fine.
You got to remember, I am a former quarterback. Okay, don't forget that. I hope there's some throwing competitions at the Husker games, by the way.
That's right,
I don't throw the way I used to since I had my shoulder surgery, all right? But I can still throw a little bit, all right?
Did you once throw the ball out of the stadium? Is that?
No. Only, it's a long story short.
That's folklore, yeah.
I had a boot on my redshirt freshman year. Now, not the year I was redshirting, the next year, my sophomore year of school, redshirt freshman year of eligibility, I had a boot on. I was out a couple of games. And I think I've shared this before. Okay, we'll close on this. We'll come back to Holgerson and RHULE tomorrow. Our starting quarterback at the time heard that I used to be a quarterback. By the way, I was higher recruited as a quarterback. I didn't even play defense until my senior year of high school. Let me reiterate that. As a sophomore in high school, my first year as a varsity quarterback, the coach came up to me. Coach Hall said, I don't want you getting hit. Okay, you're getting letters as a quarterback. You're going to play quarterback after high school. He goes, the offensive priority of practice, you're going to be a quarterback. The defensive priority of practice, you're going to go with the DBs. Jake, do I look like a freaking DB to you? No. Even then, I was 6'4", 220, 225. High school DBs, I mean, the appropriate size is like, what, 5'10", 180? I'm out there doing drills with those guys because he didn't want me getting hurt. My junior year, he comes up to me. He goes, you're really not going to get touched this year. He goes, you're not even going to play defense at all. So I didn't play defense in a single game as a sophomore. As a junior, he goes, you're not even going to play defense at all. Defensive priority of practice, you're going to run the scout team as a quarterback. And offensive priority, you're going to be a starting quarterback. Going into my junior year, I didn't like quarterback. I went to Coach Hall and said, if I'm going to throw something, I'm a pitcher and I'm going to go play baseball. If I'm going to play football, I want to hit somebody. And he looked at me and he goes, we still need you to play quarterback. So I did. And that's how I gradually got into playing defense and defensive line. By the way, Nebraska first told me I wasn't good enough to play here at Nebraska when it came to defense, and we were running the option back then. Okay, Eric Crouch just won the Heisman the previous year. So I wasn't an option quarterback. I didn't want to play quarterback. But the defensive journey was interesting and a little ugly at times. But you got to remember, like, we went 4 and 5 wide in high school, and we threw the ball 40, 50 times. So that part of me is still in there. You hear about blue collar, in your face, smash mouth. That is me. That is why I went and played defense in football. But there's a part of me that loves lighting it up. I am a mixture of I'm going to hit you in the mouth and then I'm going to throw it over the top. Like, I'm a mixture of that. That has never gone away from me. That being said, you got to run the ball, stop the run, and you got to be the more physical team. That's truly what I believe in. But part of me is just like, just have a spring game and do it for the spring game. Just do it there. I want to see it because I actually think we have the personnel to do it. All right, that was completely unnecessary.
Well, there's Christian, maybe he could work on some things in that game.
Yeah, that whole thing was completely unnecessary. It's just me having fun and the old quarterback coming out in reality. But he's moved on from the air raid, which I like. Matt RHULE wants to run the ball. He wants to play defense. He wants to out-physical you and hit you in the mouth. Dana's bought in. And he said he's never worked harder. He's working hard at it. I just think we have some fun skill position guys. My question is, how are we going to be up front? Are we going to be able to open holes? Are we going to be able to run the ball? Don't tell me we have to have a running quarterback in order to be able to run the ball. How many teams have great running games without a running quarterback? Some teams have great running games with a running quarterback, but their passing game suffers. Can we just be slightly above average at running the ball, good at running the ball, average at running the ball? Like, good at running the ball and good at passing the ball is something we have not been in a long time, and most teams struggle. It's hard to be good at both. But we haven't been great at either for quite a while. So let's find something. Let's get good at that and play and have something that complements it. I get the feeling like he's fully bought into what Matt RHULE is doing, and we're going to be a physical offense that has some big play potential with the skill guys we have. Does that kind of make sense?
Absolutely.
All right. That music means Jake wants me to be quiet because my time is up.
That's right.
I love it. All right. Till next time. Go, Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bones.
Join Jay Foreman, Eric Strickland, and Austin Norman this Thursday, March 27th at the brand new Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane as we celebrate MLB opening day and the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. That's Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.